This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. And this is a windshield wiper. Now, it seems simple, but even master mechanics I know get confused about what size they need and how the thing comes off and goes back on. And the windshield wiper process can be so cumbersome. So how have you, Keaton, at Windy Wipers made the whole process easier?
At Windy, we actually ran into the exact same problem, and that's how we started the company. So it really boils down to a couple things. One, people I think get tired of the actual performance of the blade itself. And two, people find it very confusing on how to actually install them, what kind of adapter to use, and where to buy the blades.
Let's first talk about performance. I know folks let it go a year or two before they get new wipers. How often should they be changing their wipers, and what are the telltale signs that they need to change them?
Definitely. I mean, that's very common. I'd say most people probably are overdue for a change wiper. When we started Windy and I needed to replace the blades on my car, it had probably been over 2 years since I last replaced them. So generally, people replace them about every year. If you live in a pretty harsh climate, you might replace it every 6 months, say a really arid desert. But the telltale signs of being able to replace your wiper are you start to see streaking or smearing when it's working, and in some cases, if it gets bad enough, you might see your little rubber strip come off and start flailing in the wind when you're driving.
The method that I have always used for buying windshield wipers is you go into the store and you think, all right, that one's cheap, that's what I'm gonna get. So how are wipers all different? They're not created equal.
Yeah, that was the exact same method I used. When I had to replace the blades on my car prior to us starting the Windy company, I went to the auto store, had them look up. They showed me 24 different kinds of wipers and 24 different price tags and 24 different features, and I had no idea what to get, so I went with something solidly in the middle. But the actual wiper itself can vary with a few different parameters, but the material of the blade is definitely important. We use 100% natural rubber, which is a pretty malleable component and molds to your windshield pretty well. And we also use a flexible spring steel that pushes it down against your windshield so you won't get any gaps when it's wiping or any streaks or anything like that. Our fins, the outer casing on the wiper, we actually infuse with a polymer over the top of it, so it's very durable. So whether it's snow, sleet, hail, cats, dogs, it'll protect it from everything.
You have 10,000 or so applications on the website, which is amazing. So 10,000 different makes and models. So you've probably got one for everybody. The adapters are something that's super tricky. When you get a windshield wiper in an auto parts store, you get this bag full of little adapters, and it's hard to tell which one goes on your vehicle. How do you make that easier for folks?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest problems we heard when talking to people about windshield wipers. So our wipers actually come pre-installed with the correct adapter for your particular vehicle. There are actually a little over 20 different kinds of adapters. These are just a few of the most common models here. But for all of our vehicles, every customer that purchases our blades, we pre-fit the correct adapter on, so they don't need to fidget with the bag you mentioned of 20 different types of adapters. It's just the correct fit for their car, and they can get on and go.
Very cool. Let's take a look at what we get here if I order on windywipers.com. First of all, this is super handy. Gift card with the QR code.
Yeah.
So if I need to figure out how to install the wipers, you guys have an instructional video to show me.
Exactly.
And it's got my specific type of connector on there, the sticker, that's important as well. And this is one like we're gonna install back here on this Toyota. And inside, get the wiper ready to go. And as you mentioned, it has the exact connector to fit the vehicle we're gonna work on.
Exactly.
And of course, the sleeve here, by the way, folks, you hear a lot of folks that don't remove that, so you're gonna need to do that, and then you are good to go.
Exactly. Yeah, we put the protective sleeve on our blades when they ship, just because we ship directly to people's front doors. Just order from your couch, get the wipers at home, and it just keeps it safe during shipping, but definitely make sure to remove it before you install it.
Well, it says wipers made easy right on the box. Let's find out how simple that process really is once you pop it out of the box here, Kyler. First of all, this is a Toyota. It's a daily driver. But you guys have 10,000 different makes and models that you cover. What's the range of vehicles we're talking about here?
Yeah, that's correct. So we've outfitted everything from Lamborghinis to snowplows and just about everything in between.
And let's talk about locations. Where can we find your wipers? Where have people bought them around the world?
So we currently sell wipers in all 50 states. We even have a pair in the Congo, if you can believe that.
That's amazing. So a good test bed in the jungle. And
yeah, so they will hold up to Amazon rainforests.
You bring up the rainforest, and that reminds me, you get wipers, from the auto parts store, and you've got 6 million pieces of plastic that come with it, including those extra adapters in the packaging. What are you doing at Windy Wipers to stay more green?
So with our blades, we pre-fit every wiper with the correct adapter to fit directly to the vehicle's wiper arm. So there is no wasted plastic, and then everything, including the rubber on the blade, is completely recyclable.
If you go to windywipers.com, you're going to find premium wipers at a great price that you are going to love. Wipers made easy at windywipers.com. We'll return next with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com, so don't go anywhere.